Welcome to Talk Across America. I'm Doug Miles, and we're here in beautiful Sarasota, Florida. On our book talk segment, great to welcome back. She was with us just about a year ago when her previous book came out, and that was such a great success, called Unwanted Guest. Got a brand new one out now, another great thriller in her series. This one is called Someone We Know. We're joined today by New York Times bestselling author Shari Lapena from, I believe, up in Toronto, right?
That's where I am.
Good to talk to you again. I was looking through the archives. I guess it was around last August we talked to you. So how have you been the last year?
Where have I been? I've been writing.
Oh, you say, how have you been? I know you've been busy.
Oh, I've been busy. That's right.
Well, first of all, congratulations on the previous book, and got a lot of great press, and the one before that as well. And people love these kind of thrilling stories, don't they?
They seem to, yeah.
I don't want to give away too much. I never like to do that when I talk about novels, or particularly these kinds, where plot twists. But this one is kind of involves a murder. It involves a teenager that gets into somebody's computer. Right? I'll let you take it from there. But nice premise.
Okay. I started with the idea of a teenage boy who breaks into his neighbors' houses to hack into their computers, sort of as a kick, because he likes the challenge of hacking. And when he stumbles across some information that he probably would prefer not to know. And at the same time, there's a woman in the neighborhood who is reported missing by her husband and who is later found murdered. And in the ensuing police investigation, everybody in the neighborhood becomes a suspect or starts to suspect everyone they know, even their nearest and dearest. So, it's kind of a twisty ride for the reader trying to figure out who did it.
I think just kind of starting it off by hacking into computers, everybody's kind of worried about that now, what people are going to find, right? Or what information you lose, and you kind of take it to another level there. But, I mean, that's something people think about, don't they?
It is. And, with this boy, he didn't leave any clues that he'd been in the house. I mean, he didn't steal anything. So nobody even knows that they've been compromised until his mother finds out what he's done, and she's mortified and feels guilty. And so she sends these anonymous apology letters to the people who've been broken into. And, of course, that just opens a hornet's nest of people being worried about what might be known.
Did you get any, or was this based on any story you might have read somewhere to kind of give you an idea for this particular plot?
I did. I read a story about a boy who broke into his neighbor's house in the middle of the night to borrow their Wi-Fi because his parents had turned his off. And, like you, I giggled. I kind of chuckled a bit, and I thought, oh, that's just like a teenager, isn't it? And then I thought, well, where can I go from here? And I was just, I went on from there.
I know we probably talked about it last time, but your ideas for the books, when you have to come up with plot twists, do you write out your whole plot line, say in a short form, maybe 5 or 6 pages, or what's your process for putting a book like this together?
No, unfortunately, I'm not able to plot things out ahead of time. I just don't think that way. So if I sit down with a blank page and try and think about, if I start with the premise about a boy who breaks into a house and his mother is feeling guilty about it, I can't sit down and get to the end of the piece of paper about who killed somebody. Like, it just doesn't work for me. I have to do it incrementally, day by day, where I sort of build the story, build the characters, find out more about what's going on, right, who's doing what, and then I gradually come to the end and I see how it's going to resolve. But I just cannot see the end for the life of me at the beginning.
That's interesting.
I don't even know it's in the book yet by then.
Yeah, some authors do it the way, like, you write it out, maybe 10 pages, and they know exactly where it's going to go. And then, like you said, you don't always know where it's going to go. It might change halfway through, right, where you thought it was going to go? Who did it and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, this is it. I mean, it's very open-ended, and I just see where it leads me. And I think a lot of writers do it this way. I'm certainly not the only one. I would say of the writers that I meet, maybe half of us do it the way I do it, and the other half plan. And to be honest, a reader reading any of the books doesn't know the difference. I mean, you can't tell. It's just that different brains work in different ways. And the people that I know that don't plot aren't able to plot. Like, they can't sit down and plan ahead. They just have to work through it. And the ones who plan go, how do you do that? I wouldn't be able to do that. So we're just different styles.
And then when the plot twists, I guess, as you're doing it, your format, you come to a situation and say, well, this might be good to completely turn around right here, right? So it kind of hits you at that moment, as opposed to saying, well, I'm going to do a plot twist here, hot plot twist where, plot twist there.
Yeah, I can't. I don't plan my plot twist because I just see what happens. I put a couple of people together in a conversation, and someone will drop a bombshell, and I'll go, "Ooh, I didn't see that coming," and then I'm off to the races in that direction. And of course, I have to go back. Since I write my first draft like that, I mean, it's very rough, and then I have to go back and I spend half my time. I spend half my time writing a first draft, but then I spend just as much time revising and rewriting and restructuring so that those twists are well established, that they're well set up, and that there's enough sleight of hand to hide them, and so on. So there's a lot of work to be done after the first draft is written.
The readers are sophisticated now, right? It's hard to trick them, I guess, anymore, or take
they
them
are
on
very
that path.
sophisticated.
Yeah, right.
They're very sophisticated, especially when it comes to things like unreliable narrators. So if you write a book in first person now and you have an unreliable narrator, I mean, everyone's going to assume the narrator's unreliable. So I don't tend to do that. What I do instead of having a first-person narrator who's unreliable for whatever reason, alcoholism or drugs or whatever, instead of doing that, I write mine in multiple points of view where I go into different people's heads and I use the perceptions of the other people about them as a way to obfuscate things. So
Right.
because it's very hard to get away with unreliable narrator now. So I like to use lots of different points of view and different perspectives, and you're getting different people's perspectives on the same event, and you don't really know what's real.
Do you get a lot of feedback?
So it's a little more tricky.
Do
Huh?
you get a lot of feedback from readers of previous books? Give you ideas, or do they say, "Oh, I really enjoyed this plot twist"? Does that help you as a writer?
I get a lot of feedback from my readers, of course, but they don't often suggest plot lines.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of anywhere where people have suggested plot lines. I have had a lot of people suggest that I write a sequel to A Stranger in the House,
Right.
because that ended with a huge twist and a possibility. So a lot of people want to know what's going to happen next on that one. But so far, I haven't I haven't planned to write a sequel on that.
Well, great. Again, this one, another in that line of thrillers, plot twist called Someone We Know, and we've been talking with Shari Lapena today. And Shari, give out your website once again. I know people want to get more information about the book. They may not have read your books before.
Okay, so my website is www.sharilapena.com, and that's spelled SHARILAPENA. And I'm also on, I have an author Facebook page under that name, and I'm also on Twitter and Instagram. So you can find me in all those places and get to know me better. And if you want to send me an email or interact, you can do it through my Twitter or my author Facebook or Instagram or whatever.
Great. Shari, always great to chat with you. I'm sure you're working on another book, so we'll look forward to talking to you hopefully next summer. But good luck with this one, and it'll be another bestseller. Thanks for being with us.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us today on Talk Across America. Please visit our website at dougmilesmedia.com for more great interviews and content. And if you're interested in any of the books we talk about on the program, please click the Amazon link on our website. It helps support the podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again real soon here from beautiful Sarasota, Florida.
I'm Stan Brock. 30 years ago, I formed Remote Area Medical to help people overseas. But then we found generations of families in America isolated by poverty from the health care they need. Together, we can take dental, vision, and medical help to 1 million adults and their kids, right here at home in the United States of America.